So, Zangye, Chedan, Zangye, Jonan, Chanchu, Paso, Danye, Yasu, Dagi, Rinso, Yibe, Senan, Dola, Benjire, Zangye, Chobara, Sho, Song, Chedan, Zangye, Jonan, Chanchu, Paso, Danye, Yasu, Dagi, Yibe, Senan, Dola, Zangye Drobar Jo Zangye Chedan Zangye Janan Janjo Bardo Danye Yabdo Je Danye Jenson Yebe Sanan Ye Dalade Zangye Drobar Jo Mandala Sa Shi Oh, Medala Gamniya Daya. Oh yeah, please sit down. Um, I think our translator will take a little bit of time. So meanwhile, we will do some chanting. Okay. Um, Ye duze yeso ne tawa tamje pambe je tambe chune teje yang kwadam jala jaze lo omo mune mune maha mune yeso ha omo mune mune maha mune yeso o mune mune maha mune yeso ha o mune mune maha mune yeso ha o mune mune maha mune yeso ha o mune mune maha mune yeso Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune ma mune so Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune ma mune Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune ma mune so Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune so ha oh mune mune ma mune Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune ma mune so Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune ma mune Oh, mune mune ma mune so ha oh 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 mune mune ma mune so Oh, mune mune ma mune so Muni muni mamuni so, 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 muni muni mamuni so. Muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni so. Muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni so, muni muni mamuni. Oh, many, many harmonies, oh, many, many harmonies, oh, many, many harmonies, oh, many, many harmonies. Oh, many, many harmonies, 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 oh, many, many harmonies. Oh, many, many harmonies, oh, many, many harmonies, oh, many, many harmonies, oh, many, many harmonies. Oh, many, many harmonies, 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 oh, many, many harmonies. Muni 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 ro ha ko le je ta re mo to da rai to re no no le le je ma yum la ja se lo ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so ha ta re to da re to re so. Dare to dare dare so 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 dare to dare dare Ondare dudare dure so, 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 ondare dudare dure so. Ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so. Ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so, ondare dudare dure so. Dare to dare dare so dare to dare dare so dare to dare 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 to dare dare so 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 dare to dare 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 to dare dare so 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 dare to dare Dare to dare dare so 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 dare Dare to dare dare so 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 dare to 도제 근로년 배정된 내전점들 연결 돈이 새로 소문내서 상계 매개는 변도에 있어. 장제 론대야바 배관제 배관제 뭐 배관제 나서 소문에 대해서 대야바 배관제 뭐 배관제 나서 소문에 대해서 대야도 배관제 뭐 배관제 나서 소문에 대해서 대야도 배관제 나서 소문에 대해서 대야도 배관제 뭐 배관제 나서 소문에 대해서 대야도 배관제 뭐 배관제 나서 소문에 대해서 대야도 배관제 Can you go to page number 26, please? 26, yes. Oh, 26.
Trang 26 ạ.
Okay, maybe it's a little bit different here. Is there a book by the name The Foundation of All Qualities?
Trang 26 nền tảng của mọi phẩm hạnh ạ.
Oh yeah, this one. Yes, thank you. Yunje Mabara Gavara Jingi Luso Yobo Chuyin Chu Shin Yoto Jibe Jewa Jembo Shive Jesu Ludan Jema Shi Kana Linde Chijin Dawa Niebo Tembo Nine Niebe Zha Xin Zha Wang Nam Jiang Bong Wa Ta Ge Zhou Da Da Zhu Ba Xie Ba La Lao Du Ba Da Nian Ba Ran Jing Ge Lo Bo Jie Be Mian Mo Mo Dong Ye Gui Ye Bo Yi Di Mi Ru Si Bian Ben Zhou Ge Ni Me Ri Nian Da Bian De Wa La Deni Jamboran Gavaran Jingi Lobo Namda Samba De Jambai Jenda Shishin Pangyu Jamboi Tembe Zawa Sosurum Tarvana Juba Ningbo Jebaran Jingi Lobo Rani Sezuru Longwa Chishin Marjura Jova Kunjan Danda Vara Tongnian Jova Jelbe Kurikeve Janjo Semjo Jongbaran Jingi Lo Semzang Jejan Tsujime Namsumala Gomba Mena Janjo Minjo Levara Kane Yazen Tomba Tenpa Changpe Lopara Jingi Lo Lope Yu La Yanwa Shi Je Je Yang Da Ten La Zui Xin Je Ma Yin Shi Ne La Do Sun Do Je We La Ma Yu Do Yu La Ke Wu La Jingi Lo Ke Mo Lam Chang Ne Do Yu Ba Na Te Wa Gun Ge Cho Gyu Ren Do Je Yesan Gevin Jung Tamban Deva Yido Chobara Chingi Yese Murdugo Namni Drube Shi Namda Tamde Tamba Sumha Chema Mimbe Niba Ni Gyuro Ne Sodan Dede Sumwara Chingi Dene Jude Ningbo Zimni Gi Denama Jijin Tone Zembo Yi Jijin Ninjura Chule Meya Wa Dambe Sunshi Chubara Chingi Denora Lamsan Tembe Shinyi Dan Tsushi Chube Chanama Shabe Cheda Nangi Pardo Chebe So Nyewara Shewara Chingi Labdo Se Yewa Kundo Yanda Lama Da Jeme Jegi Bela Longje Jing Sada Lamye Yunde Rato Ne Loje Changi Goba Yorado Sho. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I think Mr. Trong is back. Yeah, hello. Yes. So we will now go to.
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning,
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Trong. Did you get some time to rest?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
Yes, I
now.
drink some water. Yeah.
All right. Sure. That's good. That's good. Keep some more water. You will need that. Okay.
Yeah.
So before.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
you very much.
Yeah. So before we start. I want to share a few things. The first is that yesterday was the completion of the 15 days of the Buddha's miracle. We call that the miracle Buddha's miracle day, or in Tibetan we usually also call that the 15th offering day, because that was the 15th day. So anyway, it was I think since 1 week ago, all of us together, we have accumulated a lot of merit. You have done your practices, prayers, generosity, charity, patience, different practices you were doing, and many of you send me a report as how your spiritual practices were being done, and I really appreciate and rejoice in all your Dhamma activities. Yeah. As I explained last week, yeah, sure. As I explained the week before, it is the whole 15 days, especially the whole the last week since the 8th to the 15th, that is considered as the multiplication day, and especially yesterday was very, very auspicious. And so whatever merit, whatever spiritual activity, whatever virtuous activity, whatever positive activity you have done has been multiplied by 100 million times. That is said in the sutras. So if you recite one round of Om Mani Padme Hum, then that is 100 million rounds of Om Mani Padme Hum. One prostration is 100 prostrations. And so the same goes, so karma is very fair. So the same goes with any negativity. So if you had shown anger or did something negative in the past 1 week, that is also being multiplied. So for that reason, I mentioned 1 week ago that you should abstain from negativity as much as you could, and then engage in much positivity as you can, because it's very crucial. It's crucial. It's a very powerful week. Anything good you do, it's multiplied 100 million times. Anything bad you do, also 100 million times multiplied. So I hope all of you have engaged as much as you can in the positivities and restrained from the negative actions. Whatever it is, anything good you have done, very good. Anything bad you have done, not good. It is all in the past, okay? You cannot do anything about it now. So to maximize the profit and minimize the damage, what you can do is appreciate and rejoice in all the good activities you have done for the past week, and repent, confess, regret the negativities that you have done. You have said some harsh word to someone, hurt someone, did something bad, regret, confess, and repent. That will minimize the damage and maximize the profit. So by appreciating and by confessing, you will maximize and minimize. The most important is at the end of all these Dhamma activities, spiritual activities, positive actions, you must rejoice and dedicate the merit. Dedication of the merit is like depositing it in a safe bank, the bank of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas.
Như vậy thì với những cái
Anyway, yep. So okay, dedication makes whatever merits that we have accumulated, all the positive energy that we have accumulated, are stored in a very secure, in a safe place. And not only that, so the prayers usually say that whatever merits that I've accumulated, I deposit, or I store it with all the merits of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. And by doing so, until the merit of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas are exhausted, finished, my merit will also remain. So as long as the merit of the Buddhas remain, my merits will also remain. So thinking like that, it's important to dedicate all the merit in the Buddha field. So when we do the dedication, we dedicate it twofold, for two purposes. Purpose number one is for the prevailing of the Dharma. And the purpose number two is for the well-being of all the sentient beings. So two purpose, for the prevailing the Dharma and for the well-being of all sentient beings. So two purpose. This is the general practice, but because Tibetan Buddhism usually practices Vajrayana quite openly, so an additional sort of aspiration is we add the well-being or the longevity and the well-being of the Guru. So we have the long life of the Guru, and then prevailing of the Dharma, and then the well-being of all sentient beings. So it's like a threefold in the Tibetan Buddhism. We usually practice this way. Some important fact, okay? If your Guru, why are you praying for your Guru? If your Guru is a Buddha, then he is enlightened, he's free, he's independent, he's liberated. Why do you need to pray for him, right? If he is a sentient being like us, then we are already praying for the sentient beings. Okay, prevailing of the Dharma, number one, and number two is well-being of all sentient beings. So why is the third person, the Guru, where does it come from? If he is a Buddha, no need to pray. If it's a normal human being, normal ordinary being, then we already pray in the second round. So why we need Guru, Dharma, and the sentient beings? Why we have three sort of aspiration? Why we need that? Why we need three purposes? So I will not go much into detail, but just say a few to make some connection. Okay. So the reason we pray for the Guru is in the Vajrayana practice. So because we are all openly practicing Vajrayana, in the Vajrayana practice, the Guru is the principle. Everything is manifested by the Guru, from the Guru, and so on and so forth. So okay. So one more thing before I say that, I have to say another thing. You are not doing this prayer. Okay. First translate this one. So you are not doing this practice for the Guru. You are doing this practice for yourself. So that's why whether the Guru is a Buddha or an ordinary being doesn't matter, because you are doing it for your own transformation. So you need three. So for that reason, pray specially and specifically for the well-being of the Guru. Because everything comes from the Guru, all the positive result comes from the Guru. So you pray for the long life of the Guru. By doing so, you make a special connection with the Guru. So it's almost like a biased practice, because you have Guru on one side and you have everything else at the other side, like that. So from a conventional point of view, it's very much unbalanced. One side just the Guru, and everything else and everyone else on the other side. So there is misbalance. There is, it doesn't work from the conventional point of view. But since in the Vajrayana, because we are all commonly practicing, we are practicing Vajrayana in a harmonious and common way. So that's why I need to emphasize. In Tibetan Buddhism, we pray for the well-being of the Guru, then the prevailing of the Dharma. Because without the Dharma, the Guru cannot do much, right? So Guru helps you through the teaching of the Dharma. And then all the sentient beings. Because without the sentient beings, there is no one to practice. If there is no sentient being, whom do you have compassion for? Whom you have patience for? Etc., etc. So we need all three. So talking about the well-being of sentient beings, this is where we come to the great practice of the bodhicitta. And so in order to train in bodhicitta, there are many prerequisites or other trainings. And so today we will talk about something called the six perfections, or the six perfections, or the six transcendental perfections. This is what we will cover today. If you have the book in English, it's on page number 234, and it's on the second paragraph of 234. So the title of it says training in the precepts of the bodhicitta of application. The six transcendental perfections. So the six transcendental perfections is the generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, concentration, sometimes called meditation, like that. So that's five. Okay, one side, and then the wisdom on one side. So there is six of them altogether. So in English, it's very commonly translated as the six perfections. But a more appropriate understanding would be six transcendental practices. Because it is all about transcending. So if you think of the word perfection, then you can think of it like perfecting those disciplines, like perfecting your generosity, perfecting your discipline, perfecting your diligence. So basically, what is imperfect and what is perfect? What is non-transcendent and what is transcending? What are you transcending? What transcend means to cross over. So what are you crossing over? So what are you crossing over is from the narrow-minded or narrow aspect of generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, concentration, to a much wider, much open form of the same practices. So basically, you are perfecting your generosity, you are perfecting your discipline practice, you are perfecting your patience practice, and so on and so forth. Like that, basically, you are expanding, you are transcending, you are widening the width of your practice. So normally in the like deep philosophical studies, we talk about the three sort of terms related to the three forms related to the term perfection. So the perfectionist, the perfection itself, and the perfect. So to make it a little bit simple, the perfectionist is me. I'm the practitioner is the perfectionist because I'm trying to perfect my skill. Let's say let's go for generosity. So I'm trying to perfect my generosity skills. So I'm the perfectionist of the practitioner of generosity is called the perfectionist of generosity, and generosity is the perfection itself. And when does it become a perfect? Right now we are perfecting it. It's not perfect. Right now it is not transcendent. It's still transcending. So where do we transcend to? How do we become perfect? Where are we crossing over to, right? Is when we become the Buddha, then our practices, our generosity becomes perfect. Right now it's perfecting, and then it becomes perfect when we become the Buddha. Right now it's transcending. When you become the Buddha, it turns transcendent, and so on and so forth. And right now it's crossing over. When we reach the Buddhahood, then we have crossed, like that. So the six perfections, as we call it, the six perfections, normally we pack them as one. We kind of combine it as one package. We term it as one package, six perfections, right? So there is, as I said earlier, the five perfections, the five perfections. So six means the last one is the wisdom. So before wisdom, there are other five. So the purpose of the other five, even though six, all of them are practiced together, the purpose of the five perfections is to the purpose of the five perfection is to how do you put it? The purpose of the five perfections is to perfect the sixth perfection. So the five perfection, you train in the five perfections so that you can be better in the sixth one, even though you practice all six of them together. But if you ask, like, what are the purpose of the six perfections, then my answer would be, wait, let's divide the five perfections and the six perfections separately. The five perfections, the purpose is to become perfect in the sixth perfection. So why are you training in generosity, charity? Why are you training in generosity? Because I want to be wise. Wisdom, right? Wisdom. I want to be wise. Why are you training in discipline? So that you can be wise. Why are you training in patience? So that I can be wise. Why diligence? To become wise. Why concentration? To become wise. Yeah. So you train in generosity to become wise. You train in discipline to become wise. You train in all the 5 perfections to become wise. So why you train to become wise? Why do you need to be wise? So if you become wise,
Yeah.
you will not ask stupid questions. In a more serious matter, because with wisdom, when you become wise, then you no longer have any confusion. You know what to do,
Yeah.
when to do, where to do, whom to do it with, all of that. Yeah. So the first 5 practices are usually referred to as skillful means, or more commonly in most of the Buddha Dhamma text, it's translated as the method. Okay, the first 5 practices are referred to as the method. Another word for that, more uh, something that is easier to understand, is skillful means. So the 5 is called is part of the skillful means, and the 6th is wisdom itself. Yeah. So it's called skillful means because
So,
the teacher is yeah. It's called skillful means because the teacher is skillfully leading you to wisdom, leading you to become wise through these methods, through the 5 methods. You meet, for example, you meet in the world, in the world. Yeah. So, for example, in the world, you meet a lot of people, many people who are, who say, I don't believe in the religion or the dharma or etc. like that, but I believe in good action, good deed. That I believe that we should help those who are poor, help those, those who are deprived and all these things. So that's where generosity comes in. So Buddha teaches about generosity, helping others like that. And then the person who is not interested in the Dharma at all, when he or she finds out about um, the promotion of generosity in the Dharma text, then the person is interested in the Dharma because, okay, Buddhism or the Buddha Dharma is not too bad because it teaches something very practical about generosity, which I really think is a human ritual, is something that is very necessary. And then you start to read more and more on the Buddha's teaching on generosity, and then you find out about discipline, you find out about patience, other things, and then you have more and more interest in the Dharma, and then you start learning about Dharma. So in this way, generosity is a means, a skillful means for people to bring into wisdom. Huh? Yeah. Mr. Hong got disconnected. Yeah. So some patience now. Enjoy tea. Oh yeah, Mr. Hong, you're back. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Did you complete?
I am in a small hotel, a small
Yeah.
yeah. Can you repeat about you talk about after you talk about the 2 example and you talk about the generosity as a mean that I lost the connection at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what I just said.
Yeah. Okay, so let me
No,
translate.
okay. Just kidding, just kidding. So the point I'm trying to make is that by leading to generosity, by talking about the virtues of talking about the benefits and virtue of generosity, you get the attention of the people. Then the person is more interested in the Dharma, and then you lead them skillfully to wisdom, like that. And the same goes with discipline, same goes with patience, diligence, etc. like that. Yeah. Yeah. So So one good example is in the last one decade, maybe last 2 decades or so, especially in the West, where lives are everything is so rushed with job, with business and everything, and so people's life are so disorganized, and then they want to kind of find some sort of stability, right, balance in life, and then they want to study meditation, so which is the fifth practice, the concentration. So sometimes it's translated as concentration, sometimes it's translated as meditation. Anyway, this is the fifth one of the sixth perfection. This is the fifth one. So people are so much interested in meditation. They are not Buddhist, they are not even religious, but they just want to learn meditation so that they can find some peace and calm and de-stress. And by doing so, they study meditation. They're not interested in any religion at all. They were brought in a religious family, but they're not interested in religion. And then they study because their life is so stressful, they learn meditation. And maybe 3, 4, 5 years of practice, then they interest more and more in the Dharma, and then they become great practitioners, not just for de-stressing anymore. Now they really have a spiritual inclination. So like that, this is one example. Yeah. Also because of competition, because of competition and so many things going on, life is so much disoriented and disorganized. People want to find stability, not just in mentally, but also in their life. That they want to learn about discipline, right? Then that's why there are so many self-help books based on a monastic sort of upbringing. Maybe you have heard of the book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. So it's a famous self-help book. Then there's another, quite recently, maybe 5 years ago or so, another book, best-selling book called Think Like a Monk. So it's sold in millions like that, because it tells you how to simplify things, how to essentialize, how to prioritize things in your life. Because yes, in life there are so many things going on. It's like an array of, it's like a rainbow, so many things going on. So you need to pick which one to prioritize and which one to go. And if you do not do that, then everything will become disarray, everything will be disorganized. So then discipline is very important. So learning about discipline, slowly they'll learn about the Dharma, then they learn about wisdom and more like that. Yeah. So I will touch on the topic of today's session, which is generosity a little bit, just open up a little bit. So today's topic is generosity. Out of the 6 perfections, we start with generosity. And generosity can be divided into 3 forms. Material giving, material generosity, giving material things, giving Dharma things, or giving Dharma, and then giving protection from fear. 3. So material giving material things is also subdivided into 3 more categories of ordinary giving, great giving, and exceptionally great givings. Ordinary giving is giving, let's say, small changes to beggars, food, something that you can easily part with, and that is ordinary giving. Something that is quite hard for you to part away with. Let's say a large sum of money. Let's say $1,000 of donation. That is like that. So something a little bit quite difficult for you to part away with, selflessly. Selfishly, people donate a lot. So selflessly donation, that's hard. So selflessly parting with, a huge donation or something like that. Generosity, that is great giving. And exceptionally great giving is giving away something that you cannot do without, something that you must have at all costs, but you still give it, like your arms, your feet, your internal organs, kidney, heart, lungs, like that. So something that you cannot part away with, but you still give it. So the last one is we were advised to practice the last one very cautiously. So unless you become much more trained in the first two, don't practice the last one. So please prepare for questions, and I will please prepare for questions if you have any. So ordinary giving is giving anything. So selflessly giving, even if you just give a pinch of salt, just drop of salt, is also is also considered ordinary giving. Okay. So here in the book it talks about the benefit of how skillful the Buddhas were in making us do small offering or generosity and accumulate great number of merit. So here they are talking about the sur offering, basically. Yeah. So, for example, it's not we don't have the means, and it's not easy for us to make huge donation to a large number of people. Even if we could afford that, then of course we should as much as we can. But if we cannot do that, we can make the sur offering of just a tsampa, or if you don't, I mean, outside of Tibetan community, you don't use tsampa. Like you can use different types of what is it called? The beans and basically, the things that you make offering for the sur. What are they called? Beans and is it seeds? No. So things that have good smell, good taste when they are burnt. So these things you can offer as a burnt offering, as a sur offering. So when it's burning, you can smell the food, and then that the person, the person who can smell, who cannot consume the food physically, but through the smell, but through their nose, they can actually receive the offering. So these are being offered, like beans and like that, etc.
Yeah, you talk about the 3 white and 3 sweet. 3 white and 3 sweet for sure.
Not the 3 white, really. That's 3 white and 3 sweet is for tormas. This is a little bit different. I mean, you can offer that too, but here I'm talking about in the sur. You can put in the Tibetan community. We usually put tsampa, which is barley. So normally something that you eat in your own community, your own locality, you put that in and you burn them and offer that. So one good example would be like beans, like kidney beans and etc. like that. Yeah.
Yeah, my connection is.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so basically, I'm talking about the benefits of the
using the offer something.
Something that you can easily get. Offer something that you can easily get, something that is affordable for you, that you can easy to prepare. Yeah, like a cereal or something like that. Yeah. So here in the book, they talk about the sur offering, which is known in English as burnt offerings, not fire or fire puja, but burnt offerings. So fire puja and burnt puja is different. So burnt offerings, that is sur. That's definitely sur. So one is the sur offering, and one is also known as the water torma offering. So that is also a very water torma can be a little bit it takes a little bit preparation, but the sur is very easy to prepare. Yeah. So these three, these type of practices, like the sur offerings and the water torma offerings, were encouraged by the Buddha to practice generosity. So generally speaking, sur and water torma both are quite easy. Even though it's called a torma, it's not a real torma, because the water torma is just a small dough ball, like very small dough ball, like a pea-sized dough ball, maybe a little bit bigger than a pea-size, like a marble-sized dough ball. You make about 100 of them, and then you offer. So it's also not that difficult. But then there are some rituals to be said and etc. done. That is what the water torma is.
And for the sur, we add white offerings and red offerings. So what that basically means is like white as in rice, like white beans, different kind of beans, like I don't know, kidney beans. I don't know what are white color. So like white colored food offerings, and then red colored food offerings, like red beans, etc. Right? I'm just giving an example. So the white ones represent vegetarian or like dishes, and the red one represent non-vegetarian dishes. So the guests here, the guests are the people who are hungry, the hungry ghost and the spirit roaming around. So some of them are non-vegetarian, some of them are vegetarian. So for the vegetarian, the white offerings were made, like white bean, etc., kidney bean, etc. And then for the non-vegetarian, red beans, etc., made as a non-vegetarian food, like that. I will very simple sur offering, okay? So in a bowl, not plastic bowl, a metal bowl, or maybe clay bowl, prepare some fire or prepare some like amber, coal, or like that. And then on that, put your offerings, white offerings and red offerings. You can mix the two. It's okay. There's no problem. You can mix white and red offerings together. It's okay. So you put them there, and then then I will first you do that in a plate where there's fire. Put the white and the black, the white and the red offerings in there. Then with a bottle, then basically you have to sprinkle some water on the offering. Okay, so you can do that by taking a glass of water and bringing a fresh leaf, or a flower, and then dip the flower or the leaf in the water, and then sprinkle it on the offering, and then say Om Ahum, Om Ahum, Om Ahum 3 times. Yeah, so you can use a pumbaa, a vase also, or just a glass, or because I'm trying to simplify things. So just a glass of water is okay. You can sprinkle. Okay. So I'm going for the simple version. If not, you can do an extensive version. You have the ritual book and everything. You can do it for hours also, 1 hour, 2 hour, like that too. I'm giving you a very simple simple one. So sprinkle the water, then say Om Ahum, and then because if you don't have the book, okay, because you don't know the book, you don't know anything, so very simple. So you pray the blessing of the 3 jewels, okay, blessing of the 3 jewels, that invite the 3 jewels to bless this, to bless the offering. So depending on your time, you can recite Om Mani Padme Hum, Tara mantra, Medicine Buddha mantra, etc. Or simply just say Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, and have great, deep compassion for all the people who are sick, who are dying, who are lonely, who have, like that, whatever weakness they have, whatever shortcomings they have strong, deep compassion for them, and recite the Om Mani Padme Hum as long as you can, right?
Yeah.
And then feel like they are coming. All those spirits are coming and enjoying the food that you are offering. Then, like that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, feel rejoice that I'm so happy now today that I could make this offering to them. This is said to be very effective. Okay, the sort of practice is very effective for giving, for reaching out to those who cannot find what they want. Yeah, so a very good practice of generosity. Yeah. So engage in that practice. So this is very simple generosity practice. Okay, doing so, you will be giving food for the spirits who are roaming around. So when you give food to someone, even, okay, let's say you are not hungry, but someone asks you to invite you for lunch or dinner, you have a good feeling. Okay, oh, that person is so nice. He invited me for lunch or dinner. So you have a affectionate, you have an affectionate mindset, attitude toward that person, right? So even if the spirits were not hungry for the food that you're offering, they still kind of like you, yeah, and they will not harm you because you kind of befriend them. It's like giving snacks to the dog. who is a fierce dog, right? Like that. And not only that, because they have what they need, they will no longer harm other beings. Okay. So when you make offerings to the spirits, because they get what they want, they will not harm other beings. Okay?
Yeah.
When they don't harm other beings, you are helping them to abstain from the 10 negative actions.
Yeah.
Doing so,
Yeah.
by you help them to engage in virtuous activities. By doing so, you gain a same or similar merits. You accumulate same or similar merits as the one who actually does it. So I will conclude here. There are, I think, there are two questions here. The first one I will answer. The first question is, in case there is a choice to be made or to prioritize between making a donation to a pagoda and making a donation to a beggar who is hungry and need to build house and buy food, etc. So which one to choose? So that was the first question. So I don't know in your country, but in India, this problem is solved very easily because all the beggars come to the temple. So when you visit the temple, and on your way out, you can make donation to the beggars as well. So yeah, the temple is the temple is just a building, right? It's just a building. It's dedicated for the Buddha, the Buddhas, but it's just an empty it's just a building. And the person is a living being who has consciousness, who has emotion, who has feeling. So of course, between a house, a building, and a person, living, breathing, feeling, emotional person, of course, always choose the person. Yeah. That being said, as I said in the very beginning, making offerings is not about them. So it's about you. Okay. So whether you make $10 or like $1, or if you make a $10 million offering, it doesn't matter to the Buddhas. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Even if you make, it's not like the Buddha need $10 million, and if you make this offering, the Buddhas are so happy, and then you get special privilege. And if you make just $10, they are offended and things like that. No, it's not like that. It's about you. Yes, if you don't have 10 million to give, then of course we cannot give. Whatever you could afford. Afford meaning without attachment, selflessly, how much you could give. So by giving, by practicing generosity, you accumulate merit. So that's why you make donations to the temple. You make offerings to make the Buddha happy, to please the Buddha. And the Buddha is pleased, happy when you make a golden statue of the Buddha, or the Buddha is happy and pleased when you lift someone who is downtrodden, who is underprivileged, who is suffering. You just guess yourself. What will make the Buddha happy? Oh, this student of mine, follower of mine, make a golden, beautiful statue of me. I'm so happy. Now I will help that person. Oh, that person actually listened to my teaching and is helping those who are in despair, who are suffering. So what will make the Buddha more happy? When you make the Buddha happy, you accumulate tremendous amount of merit, and then your wishes also come true like that. One example is His Holiness the Dalai Lama. One example is His Holiness. His Holiness is undisputedly the leader of the Tibetan Buddhism. All the Buddhist lineage of the Tibetan tradition is the undisputed leader. Not only that, he is a very important Buddhist leader, and of course, like that. And of all the monasteries in the world, I think maybe His Holiness the Dalai Lama's monastery is one of the simplest, most simple monastery of all. All of them. His monastery is the simplest one. Yeah. So there's another question. I will give a quick answer to that. So the question was, our resources are limited, but the guest, the hungry ghost and the spirit, it's unlimited. So how can we touch how can we spread to all of them? Is there a way to multiply our offering? That was the question. So by doing the actual sur ritual, you can multiply, or as I said earlier, by reciting them. First, remember, you blessed the sur offering, right? The first step was to bless the sur offering. Say you said the Om Aham, Om Aham, Om Aham, right? And then you ask the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas to bless them, right? And then you, with deep compassion, you recited the Om Mani Padme Hum, right? So these three things, the Om Aham ritual, a very simple ritual of Om Aham and sprinkling water, blessing by the Buddhas, and reciting Om Mani Padme Hum with deep compassion, actually help to multiply it to cover all the sentient beings. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Rinpoche.
All right, okay. So yeah, I think that is all of the questions, and the session concludes here today, and we will do the dedication now. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hong,
Thank you.
for coming.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
Yeah,
I can hear you.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you.
I was waiting, but nobody started, so I thought, okay, please go on. Dedication. The Vietnamese dedicated.
I would like to ask that. Yeah, thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hong. Yeah,
Thank you, Rinpoche.
thank
Bye.
you for coming.
Thank
Despite
you very much,
you're so busy.
Rinpoche.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate.
thank you.
Appreciate.
Sorry about my connection. Yeah.
No, thank you so much. I know you're busy and you are like remote place, but you still come. I'm so really appreciate. We all appreciate. We really appreciate. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche.
Yeah. You have a great weekend.